Now, class 9th, we are focusing on the radicals part, and I think this part you have already discussed in your previous classes also. But still, we are seeing that radicals are the group of atoms of elements that behaves like a single unit and shows a valency. So, we'll see to this particular definition that what type of elements or what particular thing is behaving as a radical. You have to focus that there is a group of atoms of elements, and these group of atoms behave as a single unit and they shows the particular radical valency. And these radicals are of two types: one is positive radical and other is negative radical. I have written both the names, the positive radicals and negative radicals. We have to focus on it, that what are positive radicals. So I am just writing one example to you, and many times you have seen this example of ammonium. I'm not talking about ammonia, I'm talking about ammonium. And ammonium is NH4 plus. Now why it is a radical? Because it comprises, or it is made up of group of atoms. Now you can understand the group of atoms of single elements. Now this is one of the atom of hydrogen nitrogen, and over here there are four atoms of hydrogen, so that's why it is a radical. And because a definition says a group of atoms of elements. So over here we have two elements, one is nitrogen, other is hydrogen. And how many atoms are there? Groups of atoms: one atom of nitrogen, four atom of nitrogen. Now why it is a positive radical? Because it is acquiring a positive charge. Now we can focus on the negative radical also. I am writing down hydroxide, or it's better you use carbonate. This is one of the best example which you can understand. So carbonate is CO3 minus 2. Now over here, according to definition, it's a group of atoms of elements. Now we have two elements, one is carbon and other is oxygen. How many atoms of carbon are there? One. How many oxygen atoms are there? Three is written over here, so it is of three atoms. Now why it is negative? Because it is acquiring a negative charge. So you have to, if you are learning for first time, you have to remember all the names of these radicals, whether they are positive or negative, and you have to remember what is the valency over here. What is the valency of aluminium? Is +1. Over here for carbonate is -2. Now we are focusing on the next topic, that is chemical formula. That what do you mean by chemical formula? I have just written the name for it. A molecule, sorry, a definition: a molecule of a substance is that element or compound could be represented by a symbol. This representation is known as chemical formula. So I think with the definition it becomes very difficult for you to see that what do you mean by a chemical formula. But with the help of suitable examples we can understand that what chemical formulas means. But still, from few words like it's a molecule of substance of either element or compounds that can be represented by symbol, you can now the things must be clear to you a bit. But we'll see to it with the help of a formula. Let's focus on it. Now I have written a compound, and that is calcium carbonate. If you remember the name of it, and you know it's a compound, and it's very important that the compounds always contains whole number of atoms. Whole number, you understand, that starts from like 0 1 2 3, but in chemistry we are not applying 0. We start with the 1 2 3. So these are the whole numbers, and we never use the fraction values or definition decimal values for the atoms. So over here what is happening, that the particular compound whatever is being given to you, you can understand that each particular this thing have a molecular formula also. And that is, if you see its molecular formula is COCO3. And over here you can understand there are atoms of we contain over here one atom of calcium is been there. We have one atom of carbon. We have three atoms of oxygen is been there. So this way you can see that how we can this thing, and this gives you these particular elements are combining chemically with each other, and they are represented by a molecular formula, and then you give a this thing a chemical formula to it, and this way you can understand how these subscriptions or these values are given and why we have got this formula. We'll see also that how we can make the chemical formulas, and for that it's very important that you have to remember all the symbols and all the valencies of the particular elements, whether they are monovalent, divalents, or trivalents or tetravalents, whether they are negative radicals or negative ions, or they are positive ions or positive radicals. So we'll see how to, first of all we'll focus on it, how we can make a chemical formula. Now we will see that how we can make a chemical formula, and it has certain rules. Like suppose if I give you a, I always start with the easiest example, that is sodium chloride, and you know the symbol for sodium, that is Na, and you also know the symbol for the chloride form also, Cl, right? We always write, and you know this is the positive radical and this is a negative radical when it's come along with the charge, but over here it's a positive atom and this is a negative atom. This will lead to you a positive, you can say a radical, it will lead you to positive negative radical. Now the second point is that on the top we will write down their valencies also, right? What is the valency of it is, we remember, that is +1, and over here is -1. This we know from our previous things. And for a easiest way, what I do in my case, like in books there are very different ways of explaining, but what I keep it in mind, or what I do, I just simply put the symbols for the particular elements and I put their valencies down, right? Its valency is 1, its valency is 1, and I simply cross multiply these values, and what we get, whenever you're multiplying it with 1, you get the same thing. Like if Na is multiplied by 1, you get Na only. Do no need to write down 1 over here, it's a wrong concept. Simply write down Na, and when Cl is multiplied with 1, Cl, so you get the formula for sodium chloride is NaCl. Now we can change some other we can see some other examples also. We'll try to focus on all the different types of examples so that this concept is clear to you no matter what you have done in class 8. But I am trying to just make up clear with you with everything, and let's focus on it. Now once again we are writing the symbol for calcium carbonate. We have discussed earlier also. You know its valency is +2, over here is -2. This you have to learn because it will be difficult for you to, if you will if you are not able to learn the symbols and valency, then you will be unable to form the formulas. So chemical formulas, let's start with it. So once again what we are, I'm just putting it, and what I do, I simply do this and I put the valency without the charges. I'm not putting the charges over here, and I simply cross multiply it. But over here what is the case, when you are cross multiplying these two things, they both are coming with the same numbers, right? They can be easily divisible by 2, but in chemistry we never do. Like in previous classes we used to do, like somebody has teach you also, like this thing, this one, 2 ones are 2, don't do this thing. Don't do this thing from this year, and please be specific that we simply cross multiply it, and we know by our own that it comes in two tables. So when it is it's been when you divide it by 2, because both are coming in 2, you get 1 values. So instead of that, you directly write down that Ca and CO3, because if you see in your this thing, you, if you are cutting it, it's 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2, you'll get the 1 1 value for our case. So whenever you are multiplying with 1 with any of the number, you get the same thing. So you get the formula CaCO3, calcium carbonate. This is again other example when you have the same numbers, what you can do. Now I'm again taking another example, aluminium oxide, and I'm focusing on it, and let's focus on it. Let's once again start with its symbol Al. Over here is oxygen, its valency is +3, it's -2. So what we are just writing it for our knowledge, and we'll see over here once again, we'll write down everything, and we are not putting the charges, right? We are just writing the numbers of valency, and we'll simply cross multiply. Now this is again another example when the numbers are different, they are not same. Earlier we have seen the concept when we are having the one valency, then we came when we have the valencies, both the valencies were same, we are just removing them, or we are dividing them, and we're getting the lowest value. Now the numbers are different, so you cannot, they both comes in different table. It's come in 3 and it's come in 2, so it's become very it's a different concept and a different way. You simply multiply it. When you multiply Al with it's holding 2, multiply by 2 over here, and over here oxygen is multiplied by 2. This is the way you get the formula. Now please remember, maybe possible you will do like this. This is the wrong concept, because the symbol of Al is aluminium is Al. So alumina has this entire symbol Al. So this is the wrong form and this is the correct form, right? So this is again another example. We'll focus on other examples also when we are using radicals. That is very important, either positive radicals or negative radicals. That we have to see that case also. So we'll see both the cases. Now I have took the positive radical ammonium chloride. So again we have the symbol NH4 over here Cl. It consists +1, it contains -1. Now this is one of the simplest form, because both of them are having the same you can say valency, but signs are different. So you can put it over here like this. So you, when you cross multiply them, you will get NH4Cl. So over here there is no need to get confused, because both are having the same numbers, that is 1. So you simply, when you multiply with something with 1, you get the same thing, same number. So we are getting the same you can say the same radicals or the same symbols are being there. So this is one of the case. Now we have the other case also of ammonium sulfate, and you can see over here that ammonium we are using, and the symbol is for the same, and then we are using sulfate is SO4, right? Now their valencies are different, entirely different. It is +1 and it is -2. So now this is the case when both the we are using both the radical, one is positive and other is negative. Two radicals we are using, and we are seeing that valencies are also different. So once again I am writing it again, and over here I am putting the numbers only. I am not keeping the charges. I am cross multiplying it. Now please make sure very in this thing, this is an important concept, and you have already, your teachers have told you in class 8th also, but once again I'm telling you because it's 9th, and in 9th we know the papers are coming from boards, so you have to be very clear up with the things. So what happened, you are multiplying with this 2. Now this is a full radical and it consists of two different elements. We have already discussed earlier about the radicals, that they are the group of atoms of elements. So you have over here two different elements, nitrogen, hydrogen, both are different to each other. So over here you cannot put like this, that you are writing 2 over here. Like earlier in aluminium we were putting 2, right? So that was the case, that was a symbol for aluminium, but over here it's a radical. You cannot put 2 over here, you have to put a bracket over here, and then you have to place 2, because this 2 will indicate for nitrogen also, even for hydrogen also. And this thing, when you multiply with 1, you will get this thing. So this way, why I am telling you, because again this is a radical, it's a positive radical, and it's a group of atoms of elements. So we have nitrogen as an atom and 4 hydrogen atoms are there, and both are different to each other. So when you have to put a bracket over here in this manner. Don't put a square bracket, right? You have to put this parenthesis. We called it as parenthesis because I don't know whether you remember this word, but that's why I'm saying you again and again. It's a bracket, but it's a parenthesis. So we have to put it in that, and please put 2 outside. So this will show that this 2 is been, this particular atoms has been multiplied with this 2. Let's see how. If you see this thing, 2 over here, nothing is there, it's mean it is 1. So it will be, if you open it, if you want to see it, then it is like that. 2 atoms of hydrogen. Now how many atoms of 2 atoms of nitrogen is been there, and there are 4 2s are 8 atoms of hydrogen is been there, 1 atom of sulfur is been there, and again 4 atom of oxygen is there. So it's just for the sake that you can understand how you have to calculate the atoms. You will not write down in this manner. It's just a way of telling you that how you can calculate it and how you can calculate the atoms, because it's very important. Because when you write your chemical equations, or when you balance your chemical equation, this concept should be clear to you, that how you will calculate the atoms. But otherwise it will become very difficult for you to balance the chemical equation. So once again I am telling you, it's 2 outside, it means it's 1. Nothing is there, it's mean 1. Chemistry doesn't contain 0, it's 1. So you are multiplying with 1, so you will get the same number, that is 2. Over here 4 is there, you know the table of 4, 4 2s are 8. Sulfur is again alone, 1 is there. Oxygen's a 4 atom, 4 is there. So this way you can write down, and I have covered maximum of your this thing chemical formulas. You can try it at your home, but still if you want to have a focus on it, we can do one more example also. Over here you have seen that both the radicals were we were using a negative and a positive radical. Let's do one example when we are using a negative radical, and this way we can also see this example also. Now let's start with calcium bicarbonate. Now this is the negative radical. I am knowing it, but it may be possible for the first time you must be understanding it. Let's start. Write down its symbol. Just see it's a negative radical, that is HCO3, and its valency is +2. Over here it's -1. Now let's focus once again on the same way what I do. There are other ways also of explaining it, but it is one of the easiest way of explaining, because I remember when I was small and I was in class 7th, my teacher told me this way to learn, and still I remember that no matter what the concepts have come, but I still focus on that way only, and I study, and I believe that it is one of the easiest way what my teacher told me. So this thing for your, because they are not asking you to give the steps, like to write down the according to the steps, so it's one of the easiest way where you can understand. So again, once again I'm writing Ca, and it is 2. Over here it's 1, and we just cross multiply it. And again I am telling you, child, please be focused very this thing, because this is one, it is a positive one, it's negative, it's written first over here, then you are writing a negative part, and again we are seeing it, we are writing this thing. Now again I am telling you, this is the radical, and it consists of group of atoms of elements. Hydrogen is there, carbon is there, oxygen is there. Over here we are getting 3 elements. Initially we are always focusing on the radicals when we were having two particular elements, but now over here we have 3 different elements: hydrogen, carbon and oxygen. So let's focus on it, and we are putting it 2 over here, right? So this way you get the formula. Now this is a special case, like most of the times in the formulas, if you see that like NaCl you have formed calcium carbonate, you have formed ammonium chloride, we have done ammonium sulfate also, you can see, right? So these examples we have seen, and we have seen that in all the cases the positive part is this, and this is a negative. Every time the positive is coming first, then the negative. This is positive, this is negative. So every time you are seeing that all positives are coming first and negative is afterwards. But there are cases when negative is coming first and positives are coming down. That also example you can see to it. Let's focus on it. It's Pb, and this is acetate. Its valency is +2, its valency is -1. Now if we go for a concept like the old way, what we will do, we will do in the same manner, and we will write down 2 over here, 1 over here, we'll cross multiply it, we will write down PeCH3COO whole twice. But the formula is not like that, it's like this. Instead of writing it, you have to change this. Over here the negative part is written first, and then you are writing the positive part. This is a special case we have to remember for acetates cases, that it is written in this manner instead of this manner. This is the way of calculating is same, the how we are making the formulas or how we are doing it, it's same, because we are writing it at lead acetate, we'll follow the same pattern. But when you come across with the answer, please change it, and first you write down the anionic part, then you write down the cationic part, right? This is also an example. I hope every concept is clear to you. And now please, in your books there are different names of compounds are given to you, and please make their chemical formulas, and it will practice it. More you will practice, the more you will understand it.